Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my first impressions look on the 361 Degrees Big 3 5.0 Pro. So yeah, their naming scheme, I feel like they gotta change it up a little bit because it's just too confusing. There's a Big 3 5.0 Quick, Big 3 5.0 Quick Pro, and then now the Big 3 5.0 Pro. And there's also the Big 3 Future, which was Nikola Jokic's shoe. If you guys didn't know, he was signed with Nike. He was wearing the Zoom GT Jump 1 and also the 2 for a little bit. But then he just signed with 361, right? And they're not giving him a signature shoe, which is kind of weird. You know, Spencer Dinwiddie has a signature shoe, which is a DVD 2. And then Aaron Gordon, of course, he has it with 361 as well, which it's a really, really nice shoe. But yeah, I don't know why the MVP doesn't have one. But yeah, the Big 3 Future was definitely not my favorite shoe. I mean, this one wasn't because the traction was just so, like, it was not good on dust for me personally, right? And it's with this translucent outsole. But then in this one, you know, I have this like gum rubber. It's solid and it actually performs a lot better. So I do like it a little bit better, but the cushion is still very, very underwhelming, especially with all the tech that they put in it, right? And of course, we had the Big 3 5.0 Quick Pro, which is one of my favorite hoop shoes right now. And it's one of the best hoop shoes for guards. And now we have the Big 3 5.0 Pro. This shoe retails for 170 bucks, which is pretty dang expensive, but I do like how they decreased the price from the Big 3 Future, which was $200, you know what I mean? So that's insane for the pricing, and they decreased the price, which of course is a good thing. But then of course, we also have the Joker PE, right? So this is like a high top version, and also it's, you know, Joker theme, you know, with the colorway. And also one thing that's really, really dope about this colorway is that we have a pocket here on top of the tuft, right? It also says, I'm guessing that's his wife's name. It also says Nikola, and also his logo's there. But if you guys didn't know, he actually tied, when he was with Nike, he actually tied his ring to his shoe every single game, which is pretty cool. But then of course he doesn't have to do that anymore, and now he just has a little pocket to put his ring into, which is dope. Yeah, I love how they did that. And there are also a lot of details on the shoe as well, which I like. It says Joker here. We have his logo here on the medial side as well. We got the heart and diamond for the eyelets, and also here in like from the back, it kind of looks like Joker's smile, you know what I mean, with this red. And also here in the toe box, that looks kind of like his smile, like this underlying material is red too. So there's a lot of great touches, but you know, in my personal opinion, I like playing in lows a lot better. So yeah, I like this a little bit better, and I'm gonna be playing this one, right? So anyways, if you guys do want to cop any of these shoes, I tried to leave the affiliate link in the description box, and it does help me out if you do want to get this shoe or any of these shoes if you buy from the affiliate link in the description box. And as always, thank you guys so much for all the support. But let's get it started off with the Traction. So in this colorway, we have a mix of translucent rubber, right? Here in the forefoot, we have translucent rubber. Here in the heel, like the tip of the heel, we have a solid white rubber outsole. And then the foam here in the midfoot, right? So if you guys can see, like this foam extends all the way here into the outsole, and this is just all foam, which is pretty interesting for the design. And also, as far as the design goes for the outsole pattern, it reminds me a lot of the KD6s, right? The KD6, I believe it was, and the KD6 Elite, I think, or maybe the KD5. It's one of those, right? A lot of you guys were saying that as well, but also it does look pretty similar to the Big 3 5.0 Quick and the Quick Pro, which is this shoe, which has amazing traction for this one, right? Amazing top tier traction. The Big 3 5.0 Pro, it seems to be picking up a little bit more dust, you know what I mean? But you know, when I first got it and I was trying the traction on my wood floors, it seemed to have a very loud squeak, and also it was biting very, very hard, which I did like. But then, you know, I was walking around a little bit in my apartment, and it is a little bit dusty because I have 2 dogs. There's a little bit of dog hair and stuff like that, and it did seem to be picking up a little bit of dust. So we'll have to see on that, because here in the Big 3 5.0 Quick Pro, this is all solid, right? This is a solid rubber outsole, and this has really good traction, does not pick up that much dust, right? But then the first colorway that I got was half translucent, and that picked up a little bit more dust. I was sliding on a little bit. So maybe that's what's going on here in the Big 3 5.0 Pro in this shoe, you know what I mean? So that kind of is a bummer, you know what I mean? That's probably what's happening here as well. You know, the Big 3 Future, this translucent was picking up a lot of dust, and then the solid performs better for me. So that kind of sucks. But also here in the Joker PE, this is also translucent. So that definitely does suck, but of course that's just speculation right now. I haven't played in it on an actual basketball court yet. And also, of course, squeak has nothing to do with performance, but it does seem to have a nice little squeak on this shoe as well. I feel like most hoopers like to have a squeak, so there's that. And as far as the durability goes, it doesn't seem like it'll be the best. You know what I mean? Like the grooves are actually pretty thin, and it does move pretty easily when I touch it with my finger, like when I try to move it with my fingernails. So probably not the best for outdoor use. And also we have kind of like the circle with these shapes, like where the ball of your foot is. And also you can see this, like, what is this? Like a bee almost a little bit. And so this plastic piece that cages the cushion also extends here into like the bottom of the shoe as well, giving you more rigidity in the shoe. And also here in the middle of the outsole, we can see a carbon fiber midfoot chain plate. In this colorway, it's black, but in the Joker colorway, it's red. And then also here in the heel, we have the Quick Flame CQT foam, which does feel very much like Boost. So there is the outsole there. Moving on to the heel to toe transition, it feels pretty nice so far, but here in the heel, it does feel a little clunky because it is pretty caged, but it's not terrible or anything. Also, there is a nice curved shape, right? Coming into the forefoot, we also have a nice curved shape. And then in the forefoot, we actually have a little bit of flex, which I was pretty surprised about. I thought it would be a little bit stiffer, especially since it's a big man shoe, but also there's a nice rebound back. And then with the carbon fiber, it's not full length. I think it comes around here, and it's just a rectangle shape as well with the carbon fiber plate. So it doesn't extend all the way here into the forefoot like the Big 3 Future did, which kind of sucks because I really liked how flexible or springy this shoe was, right? But still feels pretty nice for heel to toe transition for this shoe. And now moving on to the cushioning setup. So they're using a Quick Flame CQT midsole. I'm not 100% sure what the midsole on the outside is. I'm guessing it's just EVA. They don't really specify what that is. But with the Quick Flame CQT foam, it's actually really soft, right? And it feels even softer than the foam that they're using here in the Big 3 5.0 Quick Pro, which is pretty surprising, right? But then they cage the hell out of it, right? There's none of that exposed here in the actual shoe, which I think is a nice touch, because here in the Big 3 Future, they caged it a lot with this plastic, which made it super stiff. The foam is actually a nice touch. You know, it doesn't cage it as much, but also they cage it even more here in the midfoot. Well, why they add this plastic? I don't know. But here in the heel, there is a little bit of compression. As far as the court feel goes, I would say it's around average, not the best. But underfoot cushion is actually pretty dang nice, right? So for the insole, we have a regular Orphanite insole. That feels pretty nice. But underneath that, we have a very nice soft mesh struggle board, right? And that improves the step and comfort a good amount. You know, like underfoot cushion feels great. It's soft. There's a nice little compression throughout the entire footbed. You know, in the heel, the midfoot, and also in the forefoot, which I do like. They did the same thing in the Big 3 Future, which I was super duper excited about. And I believe they were using a blend of Quick CQ Tech foam and also the Quick Flame. But the thing is, they actually put the carbon fiber plate, and it's full length, and they chopped it in half. You know what I mean? They basically chopped the midsole in half. So underfoot cushion, you only get half of the foam. And underneath that, you have the other half. So it's not that nice for underfoot cushion, right? But then this one, we have pretty much like a bottom loaded plate. So underfoot cushion is actually way better here in this shoe, but it doesn't feel as lower to the ground as the Big 3 Future and also the Big 3 5.0 Quick Pro, right? So I mean, it does have a little bit more cushion, which does feel nice, but it, you know, for a guard, especially for me, because I do like court feel, it doesn't feel the best. But obviously this shoe is made for big men, so there is the cushioning setup there. Moving on to the upper. So the upper is actually very similar to the Big 3 5.0 Quick. So we have this very open mesh, and then underneath that we have another open mesh as well. But yeah, as far as the ventilation goes, there's so much ventilation through the toe box and also through like the tongue right here, like where the laces are. On the sides, it doesn't have as much airflow, but this shoe is still really good for airflow. But yeah, it's extremely thin here in the toe box. It conforms to your foot very well, but while still feeling pretty dang supportive. But there are some extra layers of fuse around the tip of the toe box for extra durability and support. And then here on the sides, it actually does get a little bit stiffer, which is good for overall support of the shoe. It's also nothing that I really like about the low version is that it has this one booty upper, right? We have this knit collar, which is stretchy. So you just stretch it open, slide your foot in, it feels kind of like a sock. It's pretty much a one booty upper, which of course, in comparing it to the high version, this is like a high top. You know what I mean? So I'm not a huge fan of that. I like the knit one booty upper a little bit better. And then here in the ankle area, we do have a little bit of padding as well, which does feel pretty cozy. I mean, overall for 170 bucks, it definitely doesn't feel the best though. You know what I mean? Like with all this fuse, it doesn't feel like the most premium quality, but the knit does feel nice. And I do like how thin the overall upper is as well. And then also for the logo on the side, that looks pretty dope. right? Especially here in the Joker colorway, we have a very nice red cracked texture to it, which looks great comparing to this one. So there is the upper there. Moving on to the fit. So I went true to size and this shoe fits me pretty dang well. My toes go pretty much right to the edge of the shoe. Here in the toe box, it's just normal tightness for me. It's not super snug, it's not super roomy or anything like that. We'll have to see on if it gets roomier though. I feel like it'll get a little bit roomier because it is a mesh material. And also width-wise, it is a little bit narrow as well. I can feel like this part squeezing the side of my foot just a tiny bit, so just be careful with that. But if you want an overall pretty nice snug fit, then go true to size. If you want it to be a little bit looser, then go up half a size. But I feel like most people will be fine, and especially with this kind of like knit upper, it kind of like compresses and tightens the fit a little bit more here in the midfoot and ankle area, which does improve the fit a little bit more. So overall, the fit is very nice for me. And also, like I said, it's very easy to just slide on, right? And now moving on to the support in lockdown. I mean, support in lockdown is probably gonna be very, very good in the shoe. For lateral containment, we have the necessary counters, right? So here in the forefoot, we have the plastic coming up, acting as a sidewall. We have these triangles exposing the quick flame CQT foam just a tiny bit. I don't know why it's just there, I guess. And then here in the heel, we have this plastic material, which is the logo, and also an internal TPU heel counter and the foam coming up, acting as a sidewall. So lateral containment feels like it'll be very good. I mean, obviously this shoe should be very supportive. It's for big men, right? Also, lateral stability is really, really good. Look at this. Look at how crazy this outrigger is. Oh my goodness, guys. I mean, it's just sticking out like crazy here in the forefoot. You have a very wide base too, so lateral stability feels very nice. And obviously with the high top, you have better ankle support where it restricts your ankle movement a little bit more than a low would, of course. So there's that. Moving on to the weight of the shoe, I feel like it'll be pretty average for weight, maybe 11, 12 ounces. Yeah, 12.1 ounces. Let's check the other shoe. 12.05 ounces. So the average weight of my shoes is around 12.5 ounces. So it's a little bit lighter than average. Let's check the Big 3 Future. I think this is a little bit heavier at 12.5 ounces. And then the Big 3 5.0 Quick Pro, which is made for guards, is a lot lighter. I think it's like, yeah, 10.7 ounces, right? So this shoe being a little bit lighter than the average is actually very good, especially since it's aimed towards big men, but also very, very supportive, still with pretty good cushion, right? And overall, it does feel pretty nice on foot. So there is the weight there. Moving on to the aesthetics, I like it. I feel like they're killing it with the designs of their shoes. I really like their logo too. That looks really, really nice, you know, in all of their shoes, right? What do you guys think? They don't really have it in the Big 3 Future, but I like the overall design. I love this colorway as well. I believe this is the Wind Rises, and of course we got the Joker colorway as well. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, not my favorite shoe, of course, because right now it's feeling like a big man shoe. So obviously I'm not gonna like it as much, but it still feels pretty nice. So usually I don't like big men shoes because it's just a little too stiff, but actually it doesn't feel super stiff. It feels a little bulky here in the heel with all this foam, but not too bad. And cushion's feeling nice. The traction we'll have to see on dust performance, but on a clean court, I feel like it'll have a very good bite. And also I really like how thin the material is, you know what I mean? So overall, I am liking it so far, and it did surprise me because I do like it overall so far, even though it's made for bigger dudes, right? So anyways, that about concludes my overview of the Big 3 5.0 Pro, which is pretty much Nikola Jokic's shoe. He's gonna be wearing this, or he's been wearing it for a little bit. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave the free link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.